Hi, dog. Okay, so if you don't have any questions from yesterday, then we'll go ahead and I'll start showing you some of the stuff from task 2 for today. Mr. Lutman sent me a message today and he said, "Darn you, Herbst, I don't know what you assigned those kids, but everybody's contacted me and asked me about all these different cities and states in the country, so I appreciate you bombarding him with questions because I think that's hilarious." Yeah, it was really funny. Okay, so now I have to remember what folder I put this in. This is going to take a second. I think I stuck it right there. Yes, I did. Cool. And I can see your chat conversation over here, so if you have questions while I'm working through this, let me know. So yesterday, remember, we talked about the project overall, and then we also started working on the task 1. So hopefully you've got your 5 cities picked. You were able to go into Google Maps and find the distance to get to all of your cities. Remember when you were creating your path of travel, try to make the most sense so that you're not like traveling cross country back and forth several times. So we want to kind of make it, almost like a circle or something, your path. So then you should have the rest of that filled in. So now we go down to task 2. And task 2 is all about, oh, Maui, get off the table. My dog jumps on this table. Task 2 is all about transportation. So the first thing we have to figure out is how long we're actually going to be gone. So the first statement says, assume that you can travel 800 miles in one day. So this does not include the sightseeing. Approximately how many days would you need to make your trip worthwhile? You must include time for sightseeing, and you will be staying at least one night in each city. Obviously, except your house, you get to stay there forever when you get back, and then justify your answer. So what I want to show you is how to calculate this, because there are 2 things you have to take into consideration. So first, if we go up to the top, back to this last table, you put in how many nights you were going to stay in each city. So the first thing you're going to do is add up those numbers. So for San Diego, remember I was going to stay for 4 nights. I wanted to go to the beach, I wanted to go to the zoo, and I wanted to visit my brother, so I thought I would stay there for 4 nights. And I don't have any other cities in here, but then you would add that to whatever destination number 2 is, destination number 3, and so on. So I'm going to put that in here first. First, add up all of the nights from the table in task 1. So for example, mine would be 4 plus, and I didn't fill out the rest of my table, is going to equal that number. So that's what you have to do first. First, add up all the nights from the table in task 1. And then there's a really important piece of information here that says you can only travel 800 miles in one day. So I'm going to go, hang on, I'm going to try to open this up somewhere else maybe. Oh wait, I think I can review. Hang on one second. Okay, there we go. I just need to make mine so I can enter and stuff. Okay, so that's what you're going to do first. But here we have this part about only being able to travel 800 miles in a day. And because we can only travel 800 miles in a day, we actually have to add some more days to our trip. And the reason why we have to do this is because we're about to rent a car. And when we rent a car, we are going to have to say how long we rented the car for. You finished it? Can I look at it? Hang on just a second.
I'll show you when I
Sure. Also cafe?
I'm not.
Okay, you don't have to read it. You can just show me. Okay. ¿Cómo se dice bird? No sé.
Poto.
Poto. Caballo. Azul. Verde. Morado.
This does not make sense.
¿Y mi favorito?
Oh, this is my favorite.
Anaranjado. Yeah. ¿Qué es fish? Pez? Pez, like candy? Rosado.
It's rosa. Some people say rosado, some people say rosa.
Gris? Gray? I like the pink tail.
That's llama.
This is oh, is that me? Oh.
There are 3 balls.
Perfect.
This is. Then at the very, you can color this if you want to.
Yeah, you don't have to color all those. Okay, that's awesome. Let me finish my lesson, and then you have Spanish at 2 o'clock. Okay, please close the door. Okay, so sorry, that was a little Spanish lesson from Leo. So after you've added up all the days from your table, so again, the first thing you're doing is you're coming here and you're adding up all of these numbers. How many nights are you staying in City 1? How many nights are you staying in City 2, City 3, City 4, and City 5? You're going to add all of those up. Then you have to go and look at some of your distances. So I can only travel 800 miles in one day. Because I can only travel 800 miles in one day, it's going to take me more than one day to get to San Diego. Because of that, I'm going to have to rent my car for longer than maybe I originally planned. So what you're going to do is take 2,226 and I'm dividing it by 800. That's going to tell me how many days it's going to take me to get to San Diego. And you can see that it says 2.78. So that's almost 3 days. So let's just say we leave on a Monday. I drive Monday, I have to spend the night somewhere. I drive Tuesday, I have to spend the night somewhere. I drive Wednesday. So that's 3 days additionally that I have to add into that. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this out of this text box. So, so add up the nights from the last column in task 1. Then, I'll just put it here. Then consider how many extra days it's going to take to just travel. So for example, for me, for San Diego, it's, let me get my pen out. I took 2,226 and I divided it by 800. Leo, can you shut the door, please?
Yes, I'm on my hoverboard.
I see that. And so that gives me 2.75, which is going to add 3 days. So anytime you're traveling, back up in your table, and your distance is longer than 800, oh my gosh. Anytime you're traveling and the distance that you travel to get from one city to the next is over 800, you have to add in additional days to travel. Because now we're going to rent a car. So you're going to go down to part B. Once you know how many days you're going to travel, then you're going to go down and rent a car. Now it says you can use Kayak, Expedia, Priceline, Hotwire, or any other travel website. Now, are we really renting a car? No, we're not really renting a car. All you're really doing is picking a car that maybe you would like to rent. So let me show you what that would look like. If we go to Google and you just type in rent a car, it will take you to lots of websites. So oh, it's funny, all these are temporarily closed. They're probably not renting cars right now. So you can go to local places, to their websites. I'm going to go to Enterprise Rent-A-Car in Kendallville, because that's where I want to pick my car up from. Remember, wherever you rent a car from, that's where you have to go pick it up. So if we go here, you're going to have to put in some of these dates, okay? So let's see. School ends on May 15th, so you can leave as early as May 18th. You can even leave May 16th, I guess. Let's put May 16th. I'm leaving the day after school gets out. Time doesn't matter. This is what's important. The return date is now important because we just calculated in the last step how many days we were going to be gone. Now, obviously, I've only done this once, just with San Diego. I know that I'm going to stay there for 4 nights, and it's going to take me 3 days to travel. So that's already 7 days, and that's just my first location. So let's say you add up all of your days, and you get 20 days total. Okay, so now we have to figure out how long we're going to be gone. So there's, I'm going to count with me. Here's 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So if you were to get something like 20, we're coming back on June 4th, okay? I don't have a corporate account number or any kind of promotion code. I want to look at all their vehicles, and I'm going to hit continue. Now, this is typically where you'll stop because this is where they're going to start showing you some cars. They're going to show you how much it costs, and that's the kind of stuff I need. Now, you can buy or you can rent, you know, a really expensive car. Look, you can see over here, cars are a little cheaper than SUVs. Trucks and vans are more expensive. You know, you at least need 2-passenger vehicle because it did say you and a friend were going. Think about gas. So more of these economic or compact cars are going to be a little better on gas. Now you get to pick. So do I want like a pickup truck? Do I want a convertible? Do I want an SUV? I would probably not want a full-size SUV. I know the gas there is going to be really bad. Maybe more of a compact SUV. You can get into the fancier kind of cars. It tells you what type of car it would be, like a Chrysler 300 or something similar. A luxury car if you want to drive a Cadillac around. But look at that price. $1,156 compared to some of these more compact cars. That's twice as much as these prices down here. So you're not clicking anything here. You're not actually renting a car. Remember, you're just looking for price because you have to put that in. You want a cargo van or a 15-passenger van for some strange reason. Gas here is going to be terrible also. So let's go. I'm going to go compact SUV. So I'm just going to select it for a second. Because I think maybe you can put, I don't know, there's sometimes you can enter some stuff in. So, I don't know, do you want Sirius? Do you want greenhouse gas? Do you want GPS? That might be handy. That's $60 a week, but we also have it on my phone, so I'm not going to worry about that. Continue. I didn't add any of that stuff on there. This is temporarily closed. Okay, cool. So, here we go. This is what I want over here. I want this right here. So it's unlimited mileage. That's good. That means I can drive as far and as much as I want over those days. My estimated $743.34. That's the number I need. Time and distance is 2 weeks plus some extra. Yeah, so that got a little more expensive, right? Because we're gone for a long time. You typically when you rent a car, it's like for a week at a time or maybe a couple of days because you're just taking a quick road trip. But this is gonna be a lot of days in a car. So $743.34. I gotta go back to my not there here. Too many tabs open on my window in my computer. Okay, so what was the cost for the vehicle? The cost was $743.34. It says, what vehicle did you choose? So I chose a compact SUV, and it'll say like a Ford EcoSport or similar. So what I need to do, I'm going to go back in and type in Ford EcoSport. Whoops, Sport. Be sure to save a picture. So I'm also going to go back and snip a picture, right? Because that's got to go, so I don't have to look it up later. Control copy. Oh, somebody told me yesterday I could do this and I can't remember what was said. Can I just paste it in here? Control V. Ha, look at that. Control copy, control paste. So there's my car. So now we have to figure out some things. The vehicle's miles per gallon. This is also something you're going to have to Google. So what You can probably just type in MPG of a Ford Eco Sport. Looks like it's one word. Oh, Eco Sport. Oh my gosh. And then it's going to tell you what the mileage is. So it's 29 highway, 27 in the city. That means 29 miles for every gallon of gas. 29 on the highway, 27 in the city. So most of this travel is highway travel, right? Because you're getting from one city to the next. So back in our document, it says the vehicle's miles per gallon, and I'm going to type in 29 mpgs. So now I've typed in the vehicle I chose, how much it's going to cost me, and what its miles per gallon is. Now I'm going to go down and I have to do a little bit of math. So it says, you know how many miles you'll be traveling, right? Where did we get that number from? Way up here in task 1. That's this number, which I didn't calculate because I didn't make a full trip yet. I haven't created a full trip. You're going to take your total miles traveled from task 1, and you're going to divide it by your vehicle's miles per gallon. So in my case, it's 29. Why is that? Oh, I typed all that in there. You have to delete these letters out. So I'm going to be dividing by 29 here. Total miles traveled, I don't know, let's say it's, let's say I end up traveling 7,334. So then you're going to use your calculator, and you're going to divide that out to get a number here. So that's going to be the number that represents how many gallons of gas you need on this trip. So this is 252 point, I'm going to round 90. It's 89.6, so that rounds up to 90. So 252, actually I'm just going to say 0.9. 252.9 gallons of gas. Now remember, these are not going to be your numbers. You can't use the car I used. You've got to go out and do your own work. But I'm just showing you how these websites work and how you find this info. Okay, so then now we're going to figure out how much money we're going to pay in fuel. It says to show your work. Okay, you find out how much gas is going to cost you by taking your gallons, 252.9, and multiplying it by $1.77. I looked up the average cost of a tank of gas right now, gallon of gas right now, and it's $1.77 in the country. I've heard the gas prices went up today, so that's maybe gone up, but that's okay. We'll use the number today. So I'm taking 252.9 and I'm multiplying it by $1.77 to get $447.63. So check this out. I'm taking a 20-day trip, and it's going to cost me that for the car, and it's going to cost me that for the gas. That's a lot. I also inserted a picture. You need to do that as well. And then I think, yep, that's it for task 2. No, I'm not really getting that car. So there's task 2. So that's what you're doing today. You're going to first calculate how many days you're on your trip. Remember to add all those numbers in that column, plus you have to look at how many days do you travel more than 800 miles, because that will affect adding extra days onto your trip. Then you're going to pick a car. Then you're going to figure out how much it costs to rent, what its miles per gallons are, and then you're going to figure out how many gallons of gas do I need and how much money do I spend on gas. And then finally snip a picture of your car. So again, you can't use a Ford EcoSport. You have to pick some other vehicle. You don't have to use that first website that I found. It's Kendallville, so it's close, so it works. You can pick a place in Fort Wayne or Auburn. There are other places to rent cars from. Some students like to get fancy and they want to rent something like a McLaren. If you want to rent a McLaren, you're going to have to go probably quite a bit further away to even find a McLaren. So maybe you would Google something like that. Maybe you want to Google, oh, maybe in Texas, Leo says. Maybe you want to Google or you want to rent, I don't know, give me some other fancy car, a Lamborghini.
Lamborghini.
I've had students ask in the past, you're welcome to rent an RV. However, you aren't able to sleep in the RV. You still have to do the hotel stuff later. So kids want to say, well, I just want to rent an RV, and they try to save on all that hotel fee, but unfortunately, that's not going to work for the project. I've had kids rent semi-trucks before. So, obviously I didn't give you a limit on the amount of money you can spend, so you're able to spend as much as you want. But today you're working on task 2, and it's all about your car. So does anybody have any questions? You're going to be calculating essentially how much money you're going to spend on gas. And I did save that, so it will save for tomorrow. I hope I recorded this. Oh, good, I did.